I wasn't going to make this video because it's been a little bit too long since the article came out, but I decided I want to because it's going to be very fun. Back in International Women's Day, which is something that we in the society promote, meanwhile completely ignoring International Men's Day, of course, an insane article came out called 100 Ways That You Can Make a Woman's Life More Bearable, because apparently women don't have it easy enough. So, we're going to go through all 100 points and discredit every single one of them. Number 1, before explaining something to a woman, ask yourself if she might already understand. She may know more about it than you do. Oh, so we're automatically assuming that women know more. That's male oppression. 2, related, never ever try to explain feminism to a woman. Well, why the fuck not? The majority of women who are feminists don't even know what feminism fucking is. They try and say that it's about equality, meanwhile it's actually about women's rights. That's according to the fucking dictionary. 3, trans women are women. Repeat that until you perish. I will not. Trans women are not women. They are in fact men who are transitioning into women. If they have in fact cut off their penises and had surgery to get a vagina, then I will call them women. But if they are merely men with penises who are dressing like women, fuck you. You're not really trans. 4, respect people's pronouns. It's not hard. I will not respect your pronouns because your pronouns go against all forms of facts, science, and biology. 5, remember that fat women exist and aren't all trying to get thin. Treat them with respect. I have no issue with treating women with respect, no matter what their fucking weight is. But it's important that people understand that being overweight is not a good thing. I am overweight and I don't fucking pride myself on it. And additionally, this is not a fucking gender issue. Men can also be overweight too. Stupid fucks. 6, in fact, just never comment on a woman's body. Well, why the fuck not? Women love appearances on their appearance, and now we're not supposed to fucking even comment on their fucking appearance anymore? This is insane. This is absolutely fucking stupid. Yeah, let's just never compliment anybody, because now compliments are offensive too. 7, be kind to women in customer service positions. Tip them extra, but not in a creepy way. First of all, again, not a gender issue. You should be kind to everyone in customer service, regardless if they are male or female. And additionally, people who work in retail don't get tips. And third, not in a creepy way. I love how it says we have to tip, but then not be creepy. I guess nothing's ever good enough. 8, trust women. When they teach you something, don't feel the need to go and check for yourself, and especially do not Google it in front of them. Don't fucking validate any facts by researching it. If a woman's talking, she's automatically and always right. Don't ever check anything on Google. But if a man's talking, you can verify, you can do research. But women, no, women are never wrong. Fuck off. 9, don't maintain a double standard for anything ever. Again, not a gender issue. This applies to men too. 10, close your legs on public transit. Oh my god. No, I have a dick. Fuck you. 11, trying to describe a woman positively, say she's talented, clever, or funny. Not gorgeous, sweet, or cute. Again, why the fuck not? All 6 of those are compliments, not just the first 3, and women love being complimented on their fucking appearance yet again. 12, examine your language when talking about women. Get rid of irrational, dramatic, bossy, badgering. Why? What if a woman is fucking being irrational, dramatic, bossy, and badgering? Fuck off. And again, not a gender issue. We're gonna be saying that an awful lot. 13, don't think to yourself, I describe men like that too. A, you probably don't, why are you assuming? And B, if you do, it's to criticize them for acting like a woman. What the fuck are you even talking about? 14, do you love fiery Latina women? Yeah, I actually do. Strong black women? Mysterious Asian women? Stop. Pick up a book on decolonial feminism. Read. Oh, so now I can't even have a personal preference on different races of people based on what their strong stats are. Okay. How about no? 15, stop calling women feisty. We don't need a special lady word for has an opinion. First of all, feisty does not mean having an opinion. Feisty just means somebody's strong and not gonna take some shit. Women tend to be a lot more passive than men do. Not a bad thing, it's just women's nature. And if we call a woman feisty, it's a compliment. Fuck you. 17, think about how you describe the young women in your family. Celebrate them for being funny and smart, not for being petty and compliant. Nobody is ever gonna compliment somebody for being petty and compliant or submissive. That's fucking stupid. We can celebrate anybody for any positive thing they've done, regardless of what it is. And again, not a gender issue. 18, examine the way you talk about women you're attracted to. Fat women, old women, queer, trans, powerful women are not your guilty crush. Didn't say they were. 19. Learn to praise a woman without demonizing other women. You're not like other girls is not a compliment. I want to be like other girls. Other girls are awesome. That's hilarious. Meanwhile, the majority of people who insult women are other women. It's a fact. Fuck you again. 20. Share writing by women. Don't paraphrase their work in your own Facebook post to show us all how smart or woke you are. I guarantee the woman said it better in the first place. There are many male writers and the majority of them are actually better than the female ones. But again, not a fucking gender issue. You shouldn't plagiarize anybody. 21. Buy sanitary pads and tampons and donate them to a homeless shelter. Just do it. Again, how is this a fucking gender issue? If we're gonna buy pads and tampons for our girlfriends or a homeless shelter, we can do it out of the kindness of our heart. This is not a fucking women's issue at all. And as for buying it for our girlfriend, there are many men who go to the fucking store and buy pads for their girlfriends. Even I've done it. This is not a fucking issue. 22. How much of what you are watching, reading, listening to was made by women? Gender balance your bookcase. So you're telling me that even if I don't like many of the female writers or actors, I should just buy their movies or books anyway? How about no? How about I buy whatever I like? 23. Feeling proud of your balanced bookcase? Are there women of color there? Trans, queer, and disabled women? Poor women? Always make sure you're being intersectional. How about no? Exact same reason as number 22. 24. Don't buy media that demeans women's experiences, valorizes violence against women, or excludes them entirely from a cast. It's not enough to oppose those things. You have to actively make them unmarketable. No, I don't. If I fucking like a movie, or a show, or a book, I'm gonna fucking buy it. You're not gonna control what I buy. And you know what? You know what really actually does demean women? Porn. But even that's okay, because the women in those videos chose to do that by their own free will, and if I want to fucking watch it, I will. Porn is free, and it's gonna stay that way. 25. Pay attention to stories with non-female characters. It will be interesting, I promise. Nobody ever said it wasn't, but again, not a gender issue. Why can't we also watch movies or read books that involve men? Apparently men deserve to die. 26. If you read stories to a child, swap the genders. No. 27. Watch women's sports and just call it sports. That's fucking hilarious because many of the sporting games that involve women teams, especially in the Olympics, they'll actually say, it's time for the women's swimming team. They actually put the word women's in the title, so don't get mad at us for saying women. Additionally, the reason why people in general say women's this, but if it's men they just say football, is because it's usually men who do it the most. So since women do it less often, we have to say that it's a woman playing. It's not demonizing them, it's just pointing it out. 28. Withdraw your support from sports, clubs, institutions, and companies that protect and employ rapists and abusers. Why the fuck would anybody support a company that employs rapists or abusers? That's absolutely fucking stupid. But yet again, not a fucking gender issue. What if the woman is a rapist or an abuser? Do we still support that company? I bet you would. 29. Stop raving about Woody Allen. I don't care if he shits gold. Find a non-accused abuser to fanboy over. We don't fanboy over Woody Allen. 30. It's General Leia, not Princess. Actually, it is Princess. The Doctor has a companion, not an assistant. Wrong, the Doctor actually does in fact have an assistant. Do you have any idea how wrong it would be if a doctor called his nurse coworker a companion? It makes it sound like he's in a relationship, and that could be considered harassment and get them fired. God damn. It's Dr. Bartlett, not Miss Madam First Lady. 31. Cast women in parts written for men. We know how to rule kingdoms, go to war, be not be, and wait for Godot. There are many lead women actresses. Fuck off. 32. Pay for porn. No. And by the way, why? Why do I have to pay for porn? How does that help women? 33. Recognize that sex work is work. Be an advocate for and ally to sex workers without speaking for them. Is this fucking serious? First of all, I have no problem with prostitutes. They're doing what they have to do because maybe they're having a hard time finding a job, and many of them they grew up with a lot of family and parental issues. That's why people get into prostitution to begin with. But I don't have to be a fucking advocate for it. Again, not a gender issue. Women can support prostitution, men can support prostitution, but I'm not gonna go to one and give them money so they can fuck me. I don't need that. And that seems to be what you're telling me to do. 34. Share political hot takes from women as well as men. They might not be as widely accessible, so look for them. Look for them. That's a very nice way of saying there's very few women in politics. And that's not the patriarchy. Women choose not to go into politics. Choose. Personal choice. 35. Understand that it was never about ethics in journalism. Well, why the fuck not? Most journalists have lost their ethics, so maybe it should be. 36. Speak less in meetings today to make space for your women colleagues to share their thoughts. If you're leading the meeting, make sure women are being heard as much as men. No, that's not how fucking meetings go. That's not how any conversation goes. First of all, people are allowed to talk whether they're men or women. 2. Women actually are shown to interrupt more often than men do. And 3. Most business people are men because women don't usually work as like CEOs and stuff like that. So if there's less women in a meeting, it's not men being sexist. It's because there just isn't as many. That's it. 37. If a woman makes a good point, say, that was a good point. Don't repeat her point and take credit for it. This is actually another thing that women do more often than men do. 38. Promote women. Their leadership styles may be different than yours. That's probably a good thing. Again, a good thing. I like how, again, this whole thing is just insulting men. That's all it is. It's just a bunch of insults to men to make women's lives easier. Saying, oh, her approach is different, and therefore that's a good thing. Why can't I have a good approach and her have a good approach and we just pick the one that fits better for us? No, we have to put across that women are better than men, because that's not sexist. 39. Recruit women on the same salary as men, even if they don't ask for it. No, that's not how it fucking works. When you're new to a fucking job, you start at the base salary that company offers. Women do not deserve to get the same money as somebody who's worked there for 20 years. That guy who's worked there for 20 years has seniority, and that's why he makes more money per hour. He may also be doing a different position altogether. Women don't deserve as much money as he does just because she's a woman. You have to fucking work the same hours as him in the same job and be there for a certain amount of time, the same amount of time he has, and then your paycheck will be exactly the same. There is no fucking wage gap. 40. Open doors for women with caring responsibilities by offering flexible employment contracts. Again, not a gender issue. I love how we're assuming that men can't get this too. 41. If you meet a man and a woman at work, do not assume the man is a superior for literally no reason. We don't assume that. In fact, in a lot of jobs, it's based on what the person is wearing. Usually the person who's the manager, the supervisor, the CEO is wearing more professional clothing. That's where the assumption comes in, and it's usually right. 42. If you're wrongly assumed to be more experienced than a woman colleague, correct that person and pass it to the platform, the woman who knows more. Not a gender issue. If the man knows more, you pass it to him too. 43. Make a round of tea for the office. Again, not a gender issue. Women can make tea too. 44. Wash it up. Women too. 45. If you find you're only interviewing men for a role, rewrite the job listing so that it's more welcoming to women. Yeah, because women not applying for a certain job is because the job listing is not inviting to women. No, it's because women don't want that job. Women have full right to go online and apply for any job they want. If there's not very many interviews happening for women, it's because not many women have applied for it. It's on them, not the fucking job posting. 46. Make sure you have a woman on your interview panel. Why? Why? I love how now the interview process is not about interviewing the person who has the most skill. Now it's about you must interview and hire people who are women, regardless of their skill set. What if all the women who applied for the job just didn't have the qualifications? Should we automatically just have one of those 5 women on the panel no matter what, even if they don't have the necessary skills? What if we treated men that same way? Absolutely fucking stupid. 47. Tell female colleagues what your salary is. No, that's fucking private. Does she have to tell me? 48. Make sure there's childcare at your events. Why? Why does there have to be childcare? Again, not a gender issue regardless. And why? 49. Don't schedule breakfast meetings during the school run. 50. If you manage a team, make sure that your employees know that you recognize period pain and cystitis as legitimate reasons for a sick day. No, it's not. If a woman is having really bad period pain and is like throwing up or something like that, then of course that's definitely sick worthy. But period pain is a biological thing that all women go through. We can't just give you a sick day because you're having your period. And by the way, if you did, then you wonder why there's a fucking earnings gap. 51. If you have a strict boss or mom or teacher who is a woman, she is not a bitch. Grow up. We didn't call her a bitch, but guess what? Men are not assholes for the same reason. 52. Expect a woman to do the stuff that's in her job description, not the other miscellaneous shit you don't know how to do yourself. Again, not a gender issue. And isn't it ironic? Most jobs who tell a person to do something outside of their job description are usually men. 53. Refuse to speak on an all-male panel. Why? Like, you're just self-oppressing, of course, because that's what these feminists do. If you don't want to speak on a panel that has men, that's your own fucking problem. You're putting yourself down. Additionally, if it was an all-male panel, then why would you be there to begin with? 54. In a Q&A session, only put your hand up if you have a question. Others didn't attend to listen to you. Actually, yes, they kind of did. That's the whole point of a Q&A session, to ask and answer questions. Men have full right to talk, answer, and ask questions just as much as women do. I know, shocking, right? 55. If you have friends or family members who use slurs or discriminate against trans or non-binary people, sit them down and explain why they must stop. This goes for cis women too. Wow! Finally a point in this article that applies to both men and women. Wow. Even though you're not being a hypocrite here, you're still wrong. Non-binary is not a thing, so I'm not gonna fucking sit anyone down. 56. If you have friends or family members who use slurs or discriminate against women of other races, sit them down and explain why they must stop. This goes for white women too. So, in other words, just don't be racist. Thank you. Next. 57. If you see a woman with their hands up, put yours down. This can be taken as a metaphor for a lot of things. Think about it. I don't need to think about it. You're fucking wrong. Number one, not a gender issue. And number two, if my hand was up first, my hand is staying up. You put your fucking hand down. It's not a gender thing. Whoever's hand was up first gets answered first. It's that simple. 58. Raising a feminist daughter means she's going to disagree with you and probably be right. Feel proud, not threatened. I'm not proud or threatened. I'm sickened because I'd rather have a child who grows up intelligent, not a fucking feminist. And additionally, you said and probably be right. Really? So we're just automatically assuming that feminists are right? Well, based on facts and stats, I'm gonna say no. Feminists are actually usually, if not always, wrong. 59. Teach your sons to listen to girls, give them space, believe them, and elevate them. This applies to men too. Why do I need to keep saying it? I love this. I can't get over how the whole article is how to make women's lives easier when every single point on here applies to both genders. But let's just fucking ignore that, right? Moving on. 60. Dads, buy your daughter's tampons, make her hot water bottles, wash her bras, show her that her body isn't something to be ashamed of. Amazing. One valid point. But let's move on anyway. 61. But dads, do not try to iron her bras. This is a mistake you will only lose once. Wow. So we go from one great thing to one insane thing. Well, 1 out of 100 ain't bad. 62. Examine how domestic labor is divided in your home. Who does the cleaning, the childcare, the organizing, the meal budgeting? Sons, this goes for you too. More fucking stupidity. Not a fucking gender issue. It's true. Most households, it's the man who works and the woman stays home. In this day and age, that's becoming a lot lower. It's using now that both people work. But for the sake of the example, let's say the man works and the woman stays home. The man should not be helping out with the housework. The fact that he's working and doing housework, meanwhile she's only doing housework, means that it's off balance and he's doing more. If he's working, then he works, that's it. If she's doing housework, that's it. Each person's doing one thing and it's equal. However, if both people in the relationship are working, then both people do housework. That's what real equality is. Feminists may not even know what that is, so I'm here to teach you. 63. Learn how to do domestic tasks to a high standard. I'd only do it wrong is a bullshit excuse. No, it's not. No, it's fucking not. Men tend to not know how to do certain things, like how to use a washer and dryer, for example. It's not a big deal. If you are a woman who wants your husband to do the laundry and he doesn't know how, then fucking teach him. My girlfriend doesn't know how to do laundry. I do. But I teach her so that she can do it. This is not a complicated thing, not a gender issue. 64. Never again comment on how long it takes a woman to get ready. We are trying to meet the ridiculous standards of a system you benefit from. How many issues here? Number one, most men, if they try and tell their girlfriend to hurry up while getting ready, the girl will yell at them, so the men usually do just wait around, and most men don't mind it that much. Two, you're not trying to meet the ridiculous standards of our system. You're trying to meet the ridiculous standards of yourself, because women have higher standards for themselves than men have for women. And on top of that, women have higher standards for other women than men do. And third, a system we benefit from, well, that's wrong because women have more fucking rights than men in the first world. 65. Challenge the patriarchs in your religious group when they enable the oppression of women. I do challenge that, and I'm very much against religion. I hate the fact that both Christianity and Islam oppresses women. However, with that being said, why do so many feminists defend Islam? 67. Trust women's religious choices. Don't pretend to liberate them just so you can criticize their beliefs. Didn't you do exactly that in number 66? What the fuck? 68. Examine who books your trips, arranges outings, organizes Christmas, buys birthday cards. Is it a woman? Is it? No, it's pretty equal. And additionally, women who usually do this work do it by choice because they enjoy it, not because the man forces them. Fuck off! 69. And if it actually is you, a man, don't even dare get in touch with me looking for your medal. Oh, okay. So I have to give a woman a medal for doing this stuff, but if a man does it, he doesn't get a medal. Okay, back to that hypocrisy, are we? Number 70. Take stock of the emotional labor you expect from women. Do you turn to the women around you for emotional support and give nothing in return? No. Men can be just as little or just as much emotionally supporting as women are. And guess what? There are many men who are not very emotional supporting, but guess what? There are many women who are not emotionally supportive too. Stop automatically assuming that women are better and more emotionally supportive just because they're women. That's sexist. 71. Remember that loving your mom, sister, girlfriend is not the same as giving up your own privilege to progress equality for women, and that gender inequality extends beyond the women in your direct social group. How fucking stupid. Men have less privileges than women do in the first world, you stupid fuck. And that gender inequality extends beyond the women in your social group. Yeah, you know where it extends to? The third world, where women actually face oppression. You privileged little fuck here in Canada or the US, you don't face any oppression. Men are more oppressed than you are, stupid. 72. Don't assume that all women are attracted to men. Don't assume that all men are attracted to women. 73. Don't assume that a woman in public wants to talk to you just because she's in public. Don't assume the same thing for men. 74. If a woman tells you she was raped, assaulted, or abused, don't ask her for proof. Ask how you can support her. Yeah, don't ask for proof. What the fuck does proof mean? Just like how we hate facts, we also hate evidence. Don't fucking ask for evidence because that would mean she actually has to tell the truth. Oh, we can't have that. Yeah, because women never fucking lie about a rape accusation. What are you gonna say? Women always tell the truth, but men are the ones who lie? Of course. 75. If you see a friend or colleague being inappropriate to a woman, call them out. You will survive the awkwardness, I promise. I agree, but do the same thing for men, hypocrite. 76. Repeat after me. Always hold men accountable for their actions. Repeat after me. Always hold women accountable for their actions. 77. Do not walk too close to a woman late at night. That shit can be scary. Do the same thing for men, stupid. 78. If you see a woman being followed or otherwise bothered by a stranger, stick around to make sure she's safe. Do the same fucking thing for men. What is with this article? 79. This should go without saying. Do not yell unsolicited compliments at a woman on the street or anywhere. Meanwhile, most women actually like this. But again, another thing that's not a gender issue. This is apparently okay to say to men, but not women. 80. If you are a queer man, recognize that your sexuality doesn't exclude you from potential misogyny. Same fucking thing for the... You know what? Why do I even bother? 81. If you are a queer man, recognize that your queer women or non-binary friends may not feel comfortable in a male-dominated space, even if it's dominated by queer men. Do we have any points that are valid? 82. Be happy to have women friends without needing them to want to sleep with you. The friend zone is not a thing. We do not owe you sex. And we don't owe you sex either. Again, not a gender thing. And also the friend zone is real. It's a psychological fact and I made a video on it. Link probably at the end or in the description. 83. Remember that you can lack consent in situations not involving sex, such as when pursuing uninterested women or forcing a hug on a colleague. This is not a gender issue. 84. Champion sex-positive women, but don't expect them to have sex with you. This is not a Why? 85. Trust a woman to know her own body. If she says she won't enjoy part of your sexual repertoire, do not try to convince her otherwise. But again, not a gender issue. 86. Be sensitive to nonverbal cues from women, especially around sex. We're not just being awkward for no reason. You read cat person, didn't you? But again, this is men too. That might be the rest of the article. 87. It is not cute to try to persuade a woman to have sex with you, ever, at all. Go home. Same for men. 88. Same goes for pressuring women to have sex without a condom. Go home and masturbate. There are many women who like it without a condom too. 89. Accidentally impregnated a woman who doesn't want a kid. Abortions cost money. Pay for half of it. You fucking hypocrite. I love how, if it's an abortion, then men are all of a sudden halfway involved, so pay for half. Meanwhile, if a woman wants the child, she goes, it's my child, not his. It's my child. It's all my child. Fuck off. 90. Accidentally came inside a woman without protection. Plan B is expensive. Pay for all of it. No, half. 91. Get STD tested regularly without having to be asked. Women too. 92. Examine your opinion on abortion, then put it in a box because honestly, it's completely irrelevant. Oh! So, like I just said, if you don't want the child, it's our responsibility halfway, so pay for half. But meanwhile, we're not allowed to give an opinion on abortion, but we're supposed to pay for half the abortion? Why can't we? Why am I even asking? 93. Understand that disabled women are whole, sexual human beings. Listen to and respect them. Again, men too. Fucking hell. 94. Understand that not all women have periods or vaginas. Yeah, they're called men. 95. Believe women's pain. Periods hurt. We never said they don't. Endometriosis, polycystic ovaries, vaginal pain, cystitis, these things are real. Hysteria isn't. We know they're real. We didn't say they weren't. 96. If a woman accidentally bleeds on you, try your absolute best to just keep your shit together. Hey men, if something happens to you that disgusts you, you can't speak about it. Women, if you're disgusted by something, complain about it. 97. Lobby your elected officials to implement high-quality sex education in schools. Why is this making women's life issue? Why is this a gender thing? 98. Uplift young, black, and indigenous girls at every possible opportunity. No excuses. Why not the boys? 99. Do not ever assume you know what it's like. I didn't. But you are assuming you know what it's like to be a man based on this entire article, you fucking hypocrite. And 100. Mainly, just listen to women. What? Don't listen to men, though. Listen to us and believe us. It's the only place to start if you actually want all women to have a happy International Women's Day. But it's okay to ignore men because they don't matter. Additionally, I don't want you to have a happy International Women's Day. And do you know why? Because you won't let us have a happy International Men's Day. When International Women's Day was going on, YouTube put the logo up, not just for the day, but for the next 5 days. So not just International Women's Day, but YouTube had it up for an entire week. When it comes to International Men's Day, which is on November 17th, I believe, I guarantee you YouTube won't even fucking acknowledge it for 1 day, let alone an entire week. You want us to give you a happy International Women's Day, yet you won't even acknowledge that International Men's Day exists. You are fucking hypocrites, you are disgusting, and this article is sexist. Fuck off, you piece of fucking shit.